Hi, my name is Joseph Geist. This is my presentation for the history of women before 1800, and today I'm going to be talking about Pocahontas. Pocahontas is a widely popular character, and many know her from the Disney animated film. However, the real history plays less like a romantic fairy tale and more like a tragic horror story. The real Pocahontas lived between the years 1596 and 1616, and she was the daughter of Powhatan, a First Nations chief. British colonists were shocked when they first met Pocahontas' people because they found them to wear very little clothing, and they considered the women in particular to be wanton because they often wore nothing to cover their breasts. In fact, the name Pocahontas, which was actually a nickname given to her, is translated to mean little wanton, or some translate it to mean naughty girl, which sort of implies that she may have been perceived to have been especially promiscuous or sexual. Pocahontas was originally married to a man from her own nation named Kocoum, but she was kidnapped by the British and taken to Jamestown, where she was taught English, she was baptized, and she was given a new name of Rebecca. After she ended up marrying a tobacco trader named John Rolfe, she went with him to England where she became a bit of an icon or a celebrity. She was paraded as an example of a civilized savage, quote unquote. And I found this to be interesting because it seems to mirror some of the same imagery and language that ancient Greeks thought about women. In ancient Greek society, women were believed to be closely connected to nature, more so than men who were more rational creatures. And as such, because women were seen as closely linked to nature, they were seen as wild or unkempt, or that they would easily fall out of control if not tamed. And so in Pocahontas's case, you can imagine that her perceived savagery as a First Nations person, along with her perceived wildness as a woman, that those two identities would sort of amplify each other. The biggest question I think I had while learning about Pocahontas' story was, how does she feel about all of this? What is her attitude towards the colonists who took her to England? Did she enjoy her experience to any degree? Was she promiscuous in any way, or was she completely terrified the entire time for the duration of the events? And unfortunately, there isn't much to go by. We know from Grace Woodward's book on Pocahontas that when she discovered she was a British prisoner, that she grew pensive and discontented. But other than that, we don't know much about how she felt. And I think this definitely highlights the fact that it's important for women's voices to be heard within history, especially women of color, for their voices to be heard so that we can know the events from their point of view and from their experience. Thank you for listening to my presentation.